property was really half vacant and the areas were boarded up and there was a lot of drug activity. It was really just a horrible place to live. It used to be called Little Beirut in all the papers, men with machine guns regularly up and down the halls. And residents were they were tired and it was going to get condemned. The whole surrounding community wanted it to be gone. The residents here really fought to preserve it. Edgewood really has been our love, for the last 15, 16 years. Maybe about 5 years ago we went through some more strategic planning and decided that our mission was really about building vibrant communities. And so that's what our mission statement is, vibrant communities through innovation and partnerships. It's not just innovation in technology, which is a big piece of what we like to incorporate, but innovation in ideas and development, innovation in ideas about how residents are involved in their community. Morning.
Certainly with Community Preservation Development Corporation, the idea has always been about giving residents and tenants voice. Instead of coming at it from everybody should get technology and somehow have a better life from it, it's really more a community development strategy. And the approach is, what is it that you really want to accomplish for your community? What is important, whether it be safety or educational goals for your children, access to e-government, what are those things that are important to you? And then what is an expedient and accessible way to get there? And technology is the way to do that.
I've always been a people person, wanted to help someone, and I was working at Starbucks. It gets a little overwhelming when I tell that story again, because in working in Starbucks, I really learned that no one there actually appreciated me. They wanted their coffee, and that was it. And if they weren't having a good day before their coffee, it all got taken out on me. And I got to the point that, I had a 4-year-old, and I wanted a skill. And that's when they first started with the one-stop centers, and I went to the Naylor Road one-stop, and I went through their whole library and said, I'm not leaving until I find an entire entire Microsoft Office program that I can take and I don't have to pay anything for. I did it, and when my son would come in, when I would stay late, he did it. So by the time he was 6, he knew about email. He knew how to calculate formulas in Excel and things like that. So basically, I got to know everybody. Everybody trusted me. I trusted them. And I just started working to prevent abuse and neglect in the community and providing resources. And it went from there.
This is our 20th anniversary this year. We're very excited about that. And we've really grown a lot. And then 3 years ago, we had the opportunity to move into this beautiful facility at the Brooks Mansion. And it signaled a core change for us. And our board, who's very active and leading the way for us and heading us in the new direction, decided it would be a good idea for us to be a little bit more proactive. We were typically very passive. We were here to serve the members, serve the community, but they would bring stuff to us. Now we are really working on the outreach part. We're trying to connect to organizations such as CPDC and in other communities in DC to create new dialogues about things that are important, things that are happening, things that people need to talk about.
With the voter empowerment piece, we got an enormous turnout. Just on this property alone, we registered about 200 voters. Had huge campaigns during the month of September. And then our kids being really linked in our youth leadership program to the media literacy piece and getting them engaged in terms of videography and photography and starting to produce their images. It really led into this crux last year where we started to think about, okay, we have this voice related to voter empowerment, and we know as a community we have a voice. We also have this structure where we understand that we have the means and access to technology. How do we marry those and really give an outside voice?
We originally got involved with the folks at CPDC last fall when Tonya Gonzalez, who's our community outreach director, connected with Jessica Venegas, who serves a similar function at Edgewood Terrace. It was at that point, I suppose you could say, we sort of fell in love with each other as different partner organizations. After that experience, we started to have ideas about other ways we could collaborate.
We needed to make sure that residents were involved and in tune, whether they were here or able or not. And basic TV, honestly, to some of our neighbors isn't always as accessible as community television. For the simple reason is that you have the opportunity to see it again, and also it's more personable. And also to let other people know in the city that we are involved in our community. So we wanted to make sure that we participated with community media versus the regular news channel media. Our next youth question is going to come from Keela Curry.
When you do come up with a plan to stop gun violence, when will you start the project, and when will your plan to stop gun violence be announced to the media?
That is a question that says, are you as mayor, am I as mayor going to be accountable for doing something about the gun violence? And absolutely I will, I promise you.
But for me, it's so exciting because it's really about them understanding that they do have the right to know something, and they do have the right to ask for a response about something that's important to them. The reality is that a community does have a voice, and to really listen to it and support it is a positive outcome for everyone. And I think that that is something that came out of this for us. That was a great lesson learned.
People across America are struggling to make their communities better places for themselves, their children, their neighbors. Community media can be a vital partner in that struggle. As the great Latin American poet Antonio Machado once wrote, "Caminante no hay camino, se hace el camino al andar." Traveler, there is no road. We make the road by walking.